let's move on to the next rule proposal. And this is the one that I mentioned earlier. This was the headline at NFL.com. The league is going to consider making roughing the passer subject to replay review. And my first reaction to that was, have we already forgotten the disaster that was pass interference being subject to replay review? Because, Chris, I can see it now. I can hear Al Riveron explaining that when we reviewed the available video, there was clear and obvious evidence of a forcible blow to the head of the court. Things that we're going to say, well, wait a minute. But when you break it down frame by frame, because roughing the passer is so nebulous, there's so many different ways you can commit roughing the passer.
Yeah, right.
And you're going to slam the brakes on the game. Think about this. After every interception, they're going to have to look and see, was there roughing the passer? Because it's all automatic review after a turnover. Every interception, was there roughing the passer? There's 10 different ways, I think, to commit roughing the passer. So you got to scan the replay angles for that and see if there's any evidence, clear and obvious evidence of a violation of the rule. I don't like it because they proved to us 2 years ago they don't know how to properly handle replay review when there's any type of judgment involved in the ruling on the field.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't want to see it. First off, roughing the passer has just gone. It's annoying. I mean, come on. It's too nice right now. It's still football. I mean, we're getting into the point here where it's like, well, his pinky finger touched his right temple, and we got to throw a penalty. And then we see games like this where, Patrick Mahomes got his head ripped off twice, and Ndamukong Suh hit him with a right hook to his face, and it didn't get called. I don't trust it. You're right. I don't trust it. I don't want to see it be reviewed. We've already gone too far, I think, with protecting the quarterback, in my opinion. We have. Hey, I like the low hit thing and all of that, but there is too many variables, and it is going to be too much on just like one guy to make a call. And we've seen, too, where we're sitting there watching Sunday football where, roughing the passer's called. And, okay, by the letter of the law, that's roughing the passer. But, this is a 290-pound guy who was running as fast as he can, and now a 315-pound guy pushed him really hard, and we get roughing the passer out of that. I don't like that aspect of it all, and I don't want to see that become a replay review and open up another can of worms and have all those issues along with it.
It wasn't completely fleshed out in the article. I assume that the door swings both ways, where if it wasn't called on the field, it can be called via replay review. And the flip side is, if it is called on the field, it can be picked up via replay review. I mean, if it was only one way.
Yeah, that would be a little better.
But here's the problem.
Right.
If the rule is that it can be subject to replay review if it's called, and they can look at it and pick up the flag, then what the default is going to be throw the flag. They'll clean it up on replay review. I just think the door has to swing both ways.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
I don't like it anyway. I mean, think about it. The forcible blow to the head. When you see it at full speed, it looks one way. When you break it down, frame by frame,
right,
it's going to look a different way.
Right.
That's what happened with pass interference. So I don't like it. I don't like it. I agree with you. Now, you still have to protect the quarterback.
Yeah, right.
I understand. Yeah. I understand you gave your spleen to the profession, so you know.
Well, I just grew up in an era where, I'm a little different, and the hell with me. I don't care, but I just still believe in. But no, you're right. I mean, I still believe in defensive intimidation. You know what I mean? There's still that aspect of it, and we've lost that a little. With even the protect.
We've lost it a lot. No,
a lot.
Not a little.
You're right. Thank you.
A lot.
We've lost it a lot. I mean, we've literally have gotten to the point where quarterbacks can just go, well, I'm going to throw it down the middle. I know it's a little tight here, but, man, he'll catch it or he'll get crushed, and we'll get a free 15 yards. Oh, he got a concussion? So what? We got 15 yards. I made a horrible decision. First down. I mean, that to me is an issue with the game right now, and I don't like that.
That book I mentioned the other day, last 20 years in the NFL, 100-plus essays, one of the topics is the reaction to the October 17, 2010 bang, bang, bang of bang, bang plays where 3 helmet-to-helmet hits happened and everything kind of stopped in its tracks, and what are we going to do about defenseless receivers? That was the argument that Mike Tomlin made at the time behind closed doors. I don't want to give away too much of the stuff I'm going to have in the book.
Yeah.
Tomlin was pissed, London, because we play with intimidation. we play rough and tumble violent football. This rule that protects defenseless receivers against blows to the head and neck area hurts us more than it hurts anyone else. He eventually came around.
Yeah.
But as of 2010, he was livid about this. So, and another reason for the NFL to drop games onto Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they don't need to just fear the XFL or the AAF or some other spring league realizing we're better off playing Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The thing the NFL needs to fear more than anything else is someone saying, instead of dropping $5 billion on an NFL team, drop $1 billion on a league that plays football under the rules. And I'm not saying I advocate this. I'm just saying I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Someone who drops $1 billion to develop a football league that plays with the rules from the 80s and the 90s.
Right.
Because no one can say they don't know the risks now. Can you imagine the people who would flock to watch games that were played like, and if you just pull up any game on YouTube from the 80s or 90s,
right,
the difference in the level of violence is jarring.
Yes.
And I think the NFL needs to be concerned about that. You push it too far, somebody's going to say, we're going to make an old school football league or whatever they call it, and we're going to play football the way it used to be played. And people are going to be upset about that. Is it morally proper? Those are all fair questions. But you know what? Football players will sign up to play it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and they'd still sign up in a heartbeat right now. Like right now in the NFL, if they would change it. I'm all for, I don't want to see forcible blows to the head or launching to the head and all of that. Let's protect that. But if a wide receiver goes over the middle and the dumb quarterback throws the ball and, okay, the receiver didn't have 2 steps to catch the ball and do all that, like that crap has got to go. It's got to go. I don't care. Sorry. The receiver's got to look at his quarterback and go, what the hell are you doing? Why are you putting me out there in the middle to get crushed by Fred Warner? And as long as that hits clean and not to the head, I don't care. That's part of playing football. It is. And it's taken away, to Mike Tomlin's point, because, hey, it's guys like him that are at the biggest disadvantage with a rule like this. He's a defensive coach. He has a keen eye for talented linebackers and safeties. He's been around the Derek Brooks and the Ryan Shaziers, and they just drafted a Devin Bush, and he had a Troy Polamalu. He has a keen eye for that talent and that type of player, let alone he coaches his team to be aggressive and the most physical team on the field too, and he gets totally screwed over by that. And that's not fair. And that's where I don't like it. And I wish they would take that rule away. Protect the head, no launching at the head or anything like that. But, again, your quarterback throws the ball down the middle and it's a stupid decision. I don't know. They got to find some way to make that even. Right now, the quarterback and the offense are being allowed to make bad decisions, and they're getting rewarded for it. And that's my biggest problem in the sport right now. It's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.